this cover up, just like so. And get a nice joint on this side. Okay, that looks really good. Welcome back, or welcome to Mix and Master ASMR. In today's episode, we are going to be doing a pickup swap in this Gibson SG. I have the full work order attached here to our Seymour Duncan pickups we're going to be installing. Pickup install, keep originals in the case, full setup with Stringjoy tendons, and I came prepared. We'll get to that after the pickup install. Beautiful Gibson SG. I love the faded finish. A dry mahogany neck. In terms of setup, once we are done, tighten the truss rod a little bit. A little bit too much relief right now, but we'll do that after we swap the string in case it's a different gauge. Currently, the action's a little high. Adjusting the truss rod will help with that. Everything's looking pretty great. Now, first things first, let's get these strings off. Loosening the strings. Alright, you want low tension. And we'll take some wire cutters and just cut the strings like so. The back anchor here just slides off. I'm going to pull these strings out. Put that off to the side. Now the bridge and saddles also come off. I'm going to keep this oriented. The screws are on the back of this guitar. Take a note of that, because every guitar is put together differently. These strings can go off to the side. Get get the rest of these strings out of here as well. Last string. Okay, now we have a lady from Retune that makes guitar jewelry with these, and we save them, I'll wrap them in a loop. If you haven't checked out Retune jewelry, they're really great pieces. Recycled guitar and bass strings with jewels and gemstones. Okay. Now, you can either clean the guitar before or after the install. I'm going to go ahead and choose to do it after. But some of this excess dust can come off, and that should be fine for now. Okay. Now for speed and convenience. Put on a sharper Phillips head. We're going to remove the pick guard. Okay, now there we go. Very basic. So over to the back first and open up the parts cover. Okay. This is looking better. Use one of these screws to help lift this cover up, just like so. Excellent. Okay. Now, give me a moment to digest the wiring in this particular guitar. Okay. This is great. So we have the switch, we've got the pots, and the wiring is really straightforward with these particular pickups. Now what we're going to want to do is inspect the new pickups to see what level of compatibility they have. N763K. And have B876K. N referring to neck, B referring to bridge, and .876K referring to the resistance of the pickup. And the hotter pickup or higher number would typically go in the bridge. So that's all checking out. Now, if you're installing pickups and it doesn't have, they're not labeled, or if you're not sure of the resistance, you can use a multimeter to check the resistance of each pickup and find out which one is hotter. But, yeah, let's wiring diagram with some pieces of hardware. A few springs and relic screws, which I will be installing because I'm assuming the customer would like that. Here are the relic pickups as well. With the screws, this will look really nice. Okay. Now, what I want to do is just label which goes where, and then the install will be really straightforward on this one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is actually get my soldering iron heating up. This is my trusty soldering iron. I love this thing. We have a full soldering station in the tech room, but this is my first and original soldering iron. It's 60 watt and it is very janky and I love it. Until it dies on me, I will use it. Okay. Now, move some of this clutter to the side. These pickups are okay though. I'll put them here. Okay, the soldering iron is starting to heat up. Tools we'll need for this job. Solder. This has what's it called? It has flux in it, but it also has lead, a little bit of lead. So if you're working with it a lot, use a fan, use ventilation, use something of that nature. Now we also have flux, which we typically don't need this. And our trusty sponge. This is the most important piece if you're doing soldering, but occasionally you'll need your flux to clean your solder iron. I'm going to go get the sponge wet, and then we'll be ready to start. Okay. Sponge is wet and ready. Iron's heating up. Now, what I want you to observe is when I touch the sponge, you see how shiny the tip gets. And that is what you need. That's what you want. What you need to be careful to avoid is using too low of a temperature on the connection for too long. That ends up heating the entire pot. And you can damage it, you can damage the wires. What you want to do, you need a pretty hot temperature, and you want to superheat just the connection faster before that heat has time to transfer to the surrounding areas. Now we have a shielded wire here and its connection point here. This is sometimes tricky, sometimes it's very straightforward. Now, to apply heat transfer, we will want to tin the tip. And just like that, I've released this connection, and I can start to feel that heat in my finger as that heat transfers into the surrounding areas. And it's actually a pretty good gauge of being able to see if you feel like the surrounding areas are getting too hot, because you don't want to heat up the entire pot for an elongated period of time. Okay. Tin the tip. A little bit of heat transfer into the actual connection point. And that pulls free like so. Okay, very straightforward. I'm here just breathing smoky lead, and that's okay. Now, exact same process here. Tin the tip. And let's apply this heat to the connection on the pot. Oh, there it is. I see it melting. Oh, very fast. My finger's not even burning. And this is not on the tubing. This is on the metal part here. I can feel it warm, but it's not burning. And that's exactly what you want, because you know that heat hasn't gone into the pot. You're not going to be damaging any components. So hotter and faster is the strategy here. Now, I need to release this next connection here without loosening the yellow wire. A little bit of solder for heat transfer. Touch the component and gently pull, and just like that, we are released. We have disconnected both of our pickups, and now we can rotate this back over. And going to remove the pick guard again. Got our pickups right here now. We we just want to take a quick note. Make sure we get the wiring the same as what the client currently has. So if I pull the neck pickup, and we can see that how this was wired, what he's used to, what he's going to still want is this one that's furthest away from us or closest to us plain, and that's kind of why you want to double check, because when this thing rotates, sometimes you get turned upside down. So the one that's furthest away from us soldering, or closest to us if we were playing the guitar, is the neck pickup. And I'm going to go ahead and slide these out. You can see on the back how that works. And actually, let's remove the guitar for just a moment. Hardware, here are the springs, and if you look at the hardware that comes with the pickup swap, you can see that these are heavily reliced to the top of the... I'll just open it up so you can see a little bit better. You can see the relicing on these screws, and this is actually a flathead. See if you'd be able to see that. It's a flathead screw, so we'll have to grab the appropriate screwdriver for that. But okay, this can be kind of put off to the side here. I'm gonna tuck this under like so, and let's remove this one. Excellent. And we'll go ahead and put these screws and springs in this little baggie that the new ones come in, just so that the client has the old hardware. Wrap this one up. And the old Gibson great. And actually what I might try to do is let's just go ahead and put the hardware in the box with the pickups in these sleeves here. And this last pickup here, we'll just put them in these sleeves. The client. Good. And then into the box. That we don't need. And some of this other hardware is more junk at this point, in my opinion, so I will give these back to the client. This will come up this direction with these screws showing on the top. So don't get turned around doing the whole process. Sometimes I know I can get turned around with these when you're upside down. There goes my spring. Okay, try this one more time. Get my screwdriver ready first this time. Tighten this just enough. Perfect, and then do it all over again on this side. Okay, and we got it. After some difficulty. Excellent. Okay, one more here. Grab the bridge. And we have achieved success. So it's a new piece of tubing, and if we just, it doesn't have to be exact. 1 and 2. Slide these over. We don't have too much of a problem here. Make sure that the tubing fishes through okay. Okay, and this can sort of put on hold here for a moment. And here they are. Good, this is perfect. And I'm going to tug just gently on the neck. You want to make sure there's solder on the end of this wire, so tin that tip. Here, bring my sponge back over. So this tip is looking pretty oxidized. This is when I had mentioned we might need some flux. This helps clean it a little bit. Nice and shiny. Okay. It doesn't smell the best, though. Alright, a little bit of solder. On the end of the wire. And there's already solder down on the connection point. So this one is ready. We're going to make sure we get a good connection here. And a little bit of solder here on this side. Something to work with. Okay, good. And then one more time, push this down and get a nice joint on this side. Okay, that looks really good. And then this side is also good. Okay, awesome. That is looking perfect. Alright, rinse and repeat. Let's pull this casing back a little bit if we can. Expose a little bit more of the lead and just a little bit of tinning on the tip. That's all you need. Just a touch. And we will connect here with his yellow friend. Okay, camera battery died. I apologize if you missed a bit of that. We're just reattaching the grounding wires. And I was saying that you don't want to have this other grounding wire connect to the shielding because in theory that can create a ground loop. Ground loops are bad. Okay, we have one more piece here. This is a little loose. Tighten this guy up. Excellent. Tin the tip. It's very hot right now. I'm going to put some solder on the shielding. And that's connected. Good, let's check this other side. A little bit more here. Okay, and that is connected. Good. That should about do it. Turn the unit off. Now, before we lock all this up, I'm gonna go, well, I need to sort of gently attach these first. Quickly. And I will take this over to an amp and I will quickly test the pickups and make sure that they're wired, that the switch is working, the tone knobs and volume are more or less working. It's a pretty crude test, but we want to make sure that the bass functionality is in place before we put everything back together. Great. Feeling really good about where we're at, so I'll go ahead and put the rest of this guitar back together. And we'll do a full restring and setup on it as well. Last screw. Perfect. Bring these pickups up a little bit. We'll fine tune these during the setup stage. Good. Now before we restring and start to set it up, give it a little clean. The pick guard's dirty. The fretboard's pretty dirty and needs some oil. And the headstock looks okay, it's just dusty. Kind of a matte, dry finish on the body, so not really too much fingerprints to clean up, but it doesn't help to just give it a quick wipe down, or it doesn't hurt. What did I say? Help? It does help. Might as well. A little bit more spray here. There's some grime on kind of right next to the frets. So I'll see if I can sort of clean that up a little bit. Headstock here, just a little bit of dust. It's looking fine. Okay, that looks pretty great. A little bit of F1 oil and spread this around. Grab a new spot on the microfiber and just wipe up the excess. looking a lot better. It's just cleaned up a bit, and it doesn't take that long, and the customers like it. Okay. Get this put back together here. And it's good for the bridge. Now we've got some string joints. 1048. Let's see if I can open this up here. This first one will be nice and snug. Find the right amount of slack here. I find about that much usually does it for me. And I'm a fan of this attachment here. Now let's lower this down quite a bit here. We'll get this dialed in. But that's good enough for just a moment. Good. Steady down, good to go. Halfway done. This one's not centered. That's okay. And last but not least, and to stretch the imagination, bow. There's good. It's not quite centered either, but that's okay. See where we're at setup-wise. Need truss rod tightened. Interesting, there's almost no tension on this thing. Very interesting, okay. I can feel a little bit now. That's straighter, but we really aren't that much tension on the strings yet. Okay, so that's going to pretty closely represent tension, accurate plane tension. And so now we'll check the truss rod again. And it's actually pretty perfect. Yeah, I like that. Good on the truss rod here. Okay. Feeling perfect. Action, intonation. So, I'm gonna bring the action up here just a touch. And these ones, all these strings are feeling great. A little bit better. Check the neck one more time. It's looking great. Okay. Okay. First and third are a little bit sharp. So we make the first and third a little bit longer. That will lengthen the string and flatten out that tuning. Dead on. So we've done the pickup swap. We can also check these heights here. This one's gonna need to come up a lot. That's a good starting place, and I can fine tune it once I plug it in and test all the other components. Okay. I would say this guitar is completed. That's a great guitar. A fun project. Stringjoys, the perfect string. I would say today was a success and a win. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a note on what you'd like to see from the shop next. We do lots and lots every day, and I'm down to document whatever people find interesting. So, thanks again for stopping by, and hopefully you also learned something. Okay, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.